Hello, my name is Aaron Cohen. I'm one of the senior staff psychologists at UC Berkeley's Counseling and Psychological Services. Congratulations first on getting into UC Berkeley, and I hope that some of the answers that I give to your questions today will help you make a decision on whether Cal is the right place for you. So I think one of the things that I would really recommend is that as you think about what you want out of a school and as you think about the things that might be helpful for you in transitioning to school, is that you really start to anticipate the challenges and the strengths that you bring to UC Berkeley. So the first thing is, and I know this is a challenge right now given all that's going on with the coronavirus, I think it's really important to have a good goodbye to your high school experience. And so I know that's challenging right now, but my hope is that in the next couple months, as you move towards graduation from high school, that you're able to bring some closure to that high school experience. Over the summer, the thing that I would have you really think about is anticipating, again, those challenges that you think are going to come up for you, whether it's the transition to Cal socially, whether it's the transition to Cal economically, and whether it's the transition to Cal academically. You know, think through what are the challenges you think you're going to experience, play them out in your mind a little bit, and think about the strengths that you have and the resilience that you bring to this campus, and start to think about how you're going to support yourself when those challenges come up. And that's a good question to ask, is Cal stressful? Well, I think one of the first things to think about is that stress is common, and that stress is a good thing to start with, and that stress keeps us safe, it keeps us alert, it keeps us moving, it keeps us motivated. And so the question becomes, is when does it start to get too much, and how can you get support, especially at Cal, when that starts to happen? The first thing I would have you think about are the supports that you already have in place. Your friends, your family, your residential community, the student groups that you start to engage in. I think through those connections socially and through your family, that you can start to get the support that you're needing. There are other kinds of supports on campus. Sometimes for academic stress, talking to your professor, talking to your GSI is going to be the thing that helps you the most. If you're living in the residential community, you have a wonderful group of resident advisors who are mentors to you and have been through a lot of the stressors that you are going to experience when you get to Cal. And so I would really encourage you to use all the resources available to you. If it's feeling like those resources aren't working for you, or you know that coming from community college, from high school, that you are going to want to get connected to some kind of counseling, there are lots of access points if you walk into the University Health Service. You can be talking to your primary care physician about things going on physically for you. And if it seems like stress, depression, anxiety are impacting those things, there are counselors that can talk to you in that format in the primary care clinics. We have wonderful coaching in our health promotions office. We have specialty counselors in our social services office, and we have a large staff of counselors at Counseling and Psychological Services who really see a wide range of issues, whether it be from academic stress to relationships, to treating depression, and so there are lots of ways and spaces for you to get the support you need. What you need to do is not be silent. As long as you tell someone on campus that something's going on for you, we can help you figure out what would be the best resource available to you. Okay, I often get asked, how do I succeed academically at Cal? And of course, everyone is coming in with their own history and their own experience academically, understanding that the transition from high school to UC Berkeley is going to be a change in terms of the amount of time you're spending in class, the amount of homework that you're going to be getting, and the amount of free time that you have to do that. Kind of learning how to manage that is one of the tasks that you will do over the first few months, if not the first semester at UC Berkeley. But a couple things I think are really important. There's a term we use called engagement. Become an active participant in your education. Don't be a passive recipient. Don't just go to your classes and listen and take notes and leave. Engage, ask questions, join study groups. I I think it's really important that you utilize office hours on campus. I think it's really important that you try as best you can to come prepared and do the work that's assigned to you. It doesn't mean you have to get it all right, or that it's all perfect, or that you understand everything, but you have to be engaged and active in the work that you're doing. The other thing is that when we talk to students who feel like they're struggling, some of them will talk about not having the right kind of the right study habits when they get to Cal. And they don't say that they don't know how to study. They say they're not doing what they know they should be doing. So you got into UC Berkeley, you know how to study. It's a matter of implementing the things that have worked. When they don't work here, trying to figure out how to change them slightly and then move forward. So I know that many of you are choosing UC Berkeley because it is a big school, but just because it's a big school doesn't mean it needs to be overwhelming. When it comes to social connections, you need to learn how to make this a small community for yourself. Some of that will come naturally within your academic community or within your housing community, but it also means that getting involved in student groups and organizations can be another place and space that can be supportive for you. And one of the recommendations I always have for new students is get involved in one student group that has an academic, a lot of students want to get into an academic kind of support. Social group, I would do that, and then find a group that connects with you in terms of an interest that you have completely outside of academics, because that'll give you a little bit of a break from the academic space of UC Berkeley. So I think if you were here in person and on campus and I was talking to you, I would be telling you to go visit a few places on campus. And so I'm going to do that, and you can do it virtually. One, I think, especially if you're a first-year student and plan on living in the residential community, spend some time looking through what housing is like, and not just from a living perspective of where you sleep at night, but what some of the programming that they do and the community that is built within the residence halls. I think that would be really important for you. I think you should look at the University Health Service website and all the different supports that we have as a health service, whether it's counseling, medical, or another area that might be supportive of you as you get to campus. I think the RSF, the athletic facility, would be really important for you to take a look at and see what is offered there. That's another place that they're great resources. And then finally the Student Learning Center, because that's the hub of the kinds of supports that you can get academically, especially for first-year students. There's some great programs going on over at the Student Learning Center. So we have a great new resource at UC Berkeley called Therapy Assist Online. And if you have a Cal ID and a Cal email account, you can sign into our Therapy Assist Online system. And I think it's a great place for you to get some basic information and support on stress, anxiety. There's some great modules on depression. There's information there on mindfulness exercises. And so I would really encourage you, if you're having some struggles or you just want to kind of get ahead of the curve in terms of thinking about the challenges that you might start experiencing, these are really great ways to learn some basic techniques and some support for yourself. You do it online, it's confidential, and you kind of do it on your own. And so I would really encourage you to look into that program, Therapy Assist Online. And again, when you have your Cal ID and your email address, you can sign in, and it's all self-paced. Some really good support systems in there. Thank you.